Awesome. So over the weekend, this dovetails in what we're talking about today because I heard this awesome quote that went through that dovetails into our Motivational Monday today that talked about how the difficult part of life is that it's self-assignment. That's the hardest part. So that's what we're diving into today. So welcome back, Motivational Monday. We're going hard today. It might be a little truth sting, but man, I am just feeling it. So I'm hopeful that today will just set you free and allow you just to go attack everything that you want in your life. So again, life is self-assignment. So let that set in for a minute. You don't get what you want. You don't get what you hope for. You don't even get what you think you deserve. You get what you assign yourself. And that is the hard part. Because the truth is, we're already assigning ourselves something every day. You assign yourself a level of health by the food that you choose, the workouts that you do or don't, the way that you care for your body. You assign yourself a level of growth by what you read, by what you learn from, by what you say yes to, or what you say no to. You assign yourself a level of value by how you carry yourself, by what you tolerate, by what your goals you create are. Every decision is a declaration. You're writing your future one assignment at a time, even if you never meant to. And that is the hard part because life is self-assignment. Why is it so tough then? Because assigning yourself something greater takes belief. It takes ownership. It means there's no one to blame if you fall short, and you will. Because we don't hit all of the goals that we want. We don't get everything that we want. So you're going to fall short. But assigning yourself something greater takes that belief. It takes that ownership. You have to be the student and the teacher. You have to create the write the tests, and grade your own paper. That is terrifying. Because if you say, well, I'm going to live like an elite athlete. I'm going to run a business. I'm going to raise a family and still show up powerful. I'm going to live with purpose and discipline. Then what happens when you don't show up? You're the one responsible. But that's also the good news. Because it means that you hold the pen. And that pen is powerful. So think about it like this. If you were in school and a teacher gave you a third grade assignment, what level of effort would you give? Probably enough just to pass. But if the teacher believed in you enough to hand you college level work, you'd either rise to the challenge or you discover your limits and grow from it. Life is no different. Most people walk around giving themselves safe assignments. Easy, low risk, low reward. They don't want to fail. They don't want to stretch. They don't want to get uncomfortable. But then they wonder why they feel bored, why they feel stuck, why they feel behind. You want to change your life? Change your self-assignment. Assign yourself a level of standard of your health that feels out of reach. Assign yourself the discipline to lead your nucleus with intention. Assign yourself the courage to grow in your career, in your mindset, in your spiritual life. Because the level you live is the level you agreed to. So here's what's really wild. Once you start living out a new assignment, it becomes your identity. People don't succeed because they have more talent. They succeed because they accepted a different role. They assigned themselves something greater, and they kept showing up for it until it became who they are. And yes, it's going to feel fake at first. That's what growth feels like. But eventually the assignment starts to feel like home. And your life will always rise or fall to the identity that you claim. So I sat there and listened to this guy talk about how the hard part in life is that it's self-assignment. And it smacked me in the face. That is the hard part. Because you can either passively sit back and let life dictate the terms to you, or you can actively seek out what you want and find the solutions to your own problems. But that's the hardest part, is trying to figure out what you want, trying to figure out how to get there, trying to figure out if it's even going to work. That's the hardest part. So here's your Motivational Monday challenge. Write your new self-assignment. It could be, I assign myself to lead my family with purpose. I assign myself to train like someone who values their health. I assign myself to wake up early and own my mornings. Not speaking to anybody here. I assign myself to never retreat even on hard days. Then your second step, read it aloud every morning this week. And then the third part, act like someone with that assignment, even if it's small, even if it's hard, because what you assign yourself is what you eventually live out. So here are my final thoughts. So the question isn't what life is giving you. The real question is, what are you assigning yourself? Because life doesn't hand out titles. You pick them, you wear them, and you either grow into them or you kind of shrink back from them. So this week, assign yourself something bigger. Stretch yourself, believe in yourself, and then prove yourself right. So until next time, be intentional, be bold, and don't forget, you get what you assign yourself. So choose powerfully. All right, team, you guys totally pumped me up. I'm ready to go and just rip the paint off the walls over in the clinic. I'll see you in the gym this week. Have a great day.